The Middle East tension is a very big issue for the stock market, and this is going to be the most important video that you can watch for this upcoming week if you want to have a good week. Because let me tell you, we are going to see a lot of volatility. There's an escalation in war in the Middle East, and most investors are completely unprepared for a war-like environment. The good news is I'm going to give you some strategies. I'm going to tell you what I believe is going to happen this week to help you navigate this more difficult market that is coming. This week, we have to be extra cautious on the investments that we have in Palantir, in SoFi, in AMD, in Tesla, in NVIDIA, and I'm going to go over a list of many different stocks that I have, including HIMS, including Costco, including Sweetgreens. We're going to go over all of this. But first, real quick, I made an amazing trade on Carvana. My trade was absolutely one of the best small account trades that I've made in a very long time. So essentially, 1 month, Carvana has had a pretty big rise, and I believe the stock is overvalued, and I believe their financials are weak. I looked through the balance sheet, the income statement, I looked at the business as a whole, and I thought the company is weak. So I actually ended up opening a put debit spread. This is a trade that I made yesterday, okay? I put in $18,000 into this trade 21 hours ago, as you can see, as I'm recording this Saturday morning, on Friday. And I told my Discord community, I am buying put debit spread, and I am going fairly heavy into buying a put debit spread into Carvana. And my community has made back their entire investment and multiple times and plus some in one single day. I don't want to brag. I'm a humble guy, right? I don't have expensive, crazy things. I don't have Lambo. I don't have crazy watches. I could afford all that. I could afford a Bugatti. I don't have any of that crazy stuff, right? What I like is freedom. And this one trade has changed my Discord community in one single day. Imagine, most people I work with for an entire year. In one day, everyone got their investment back, plus some, okay? So I'm making a little bit of a push for you. If you've been thinking about joining, just go and learn some information. It is a freaking no-brainer. I make one trade, even on a small account of $18,000, that multiplies everyone's money and gets all their investment back in education. And now we had 364 more days with me. Gravy, just gravy train right now for everyone. So huge opportunities in the market, and you can make money when the market goes down. So again, click the first link in the description. And I'm saying this because I genuinely believe I am helping people make money hand over fist, bicep over tricep. I'm not just saying that. It's actual proof in one freaking day, $6,000. $6,000. My free stuff, my free courses are better than everyone's paid stuff. And my Discord community, which has a fee and is paid, makes everyone's money back in one freaking day, plus multiple times more, plus extra, plus so much more time to learn. Anyways, I'm going to get into the video. This one trade is just so freaking juicy. I feel like just no words, okay? So I made this trade. Let's look at other positions in my portfolio. I'm gonna make this video flexible today, and we're gonna go over some technical analysis for multiple stocks, the ones that I mentioned. So let's open up NVIDIA. We're gonna look at NVIDIA. Walmart, I'm not gonna open up, but it's pulled back, and I think it's a really good opportunity to purchase right now. Walmart, under $95 is a pretty good area. Let's open up Palantir. Palantir has been hitting all-time highs, and this is also a stock that I own and I make lots of videos on. You already know because you are subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, you're freaking missing out on just tons of money. Just simple. It's just you're missing out on tons of money. I'm sorry. Palantir, it's hitting all-time highs. It is rising like no other, 80% in 6 months. And I've been investing in Palantir for a long time. I expect Palantir to profit from the Middle East tension. So this week, be cautious. But when it comes to Palantir, I'm covering it first because you don't need to be cautious. Just chill, relax, and make more money because the momentum here is super strong. And yeah, expect Palantir to be $140 per share. Look, this stock is not cheap, but it's also not traditional. This stock actually makes money from war. It actually makes money from AI. It is the kind of the future of AI, and the CEO knows exactly what he's doing. Mr. Alex Karp went to my high school, and that's kind of how I found out about the company. And look, I like a lot of what Palantir is doing. The government contracts that they have like 500 contracts that are high ticket. When I say high ticket, like $30 to $100 million, okay? $30 to $100 million. So I expect the stock to continue to go up. I think that if you look at the market volatility, Palantir is actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually like a safe haven given the escalated tensions in the Middle East. So it's pretty crazy what's going on, right? We had Russia and Ukraine, now we got more of the Middle East. Oh, that's the world that we live in, unfortunately. So, I mean, we might as well make some money. I wish we didn't have to see the war and issues everywhere, but it is what it is, right? We're here to just make money and talk about money, not politics. So Palantir is I believe Palantir is a freaking great investment. You gotta be out of your mind not to have it. I think you're shorting yourself by not having it. Let's talk about NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, I talked about leaps in my last video on NVIDIA. I actually have a couple different strategies, but you should watch my video from yesterday on NVIDIA because it's just a genius plan, and I'm not going to waste too much time. I want to make this video quick. But NVIDIA, I believe, is going to be $150 to $180 per share pretty soon. So I would also not be concerned about NVIDIA because the AI revolution is not going anywhere. In fact, the Middle East, who's getting really, really rich, really, really fast, is just doing a lot of business with NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is going to be fine. Palantir is going to be fine, right? Those two stocks are great. I think Amazon's going to do great as well. ACHR or Archer, also like no problem. That's a stock that is just going to do well, right? Despite the tensions and all. So far, these are the stocks that are just not really going to be affected. Let's go back here though. So other stocks that I'm looking at is HIMS. So HIMS, although it's a popular stock that's covered by a lot of YouTubers, I want to caution you guys because a lot of YouTubers will cover hype, right? They're going to cover whatever is hot and popular. And oftentimes you will get in trouble because they will cover it at its peak. HIMS is something that I said I'd really like to see at around $50 per share. So I'm not really buying HIMS right now, but I'm looking at purchasing at 50 or selling put options. And if you're a beginner to options, then essentially selling a put option means that you're able to enter the stock for whatever strike price that you pick, okay? Costco's looking pretty good, but it's more for like super large accounts. Sweetgreens, this company is a little bit controversial, but I actually like Chipotle, Sweetgreens, Cava. I like a lot of restaurant stocks. I think there's a lot of opportunity in them, and they are expanding stores. So it's really just a question of time because you have more stores that expand across, United States, and some of these companies are also international, like Chipotle, international. As they expand, they're going to get more money. Yeah, even if the margin doesn't improve, they're still going to have more stores generating more money. So I'm pretty bullish on the story of Sweetgreens personally. Let's go over into SoFi. SoFi is down over 5%. So there has definitely been some volatility in SoFi. But I will point out to you that SoFi is the best stock to trade options on because in 1 month it has done nothing. Negative 1.4% is nothing, right? So if you hold SoFi, the reason I like it is because they have the best marketing ever. Like they know how to get customers in the door. They are about to hit 11 million customers, okay? 11 million. They get them in the door and then they upsell the crap out of them. So basically you sign up for like an APY product, right? You put in your money and you get like a little percentage, but then all of a sudden they have like AI and they hit you with, get a loan, right? Refinance your mortgage, get auto insurance, get a credit card, right? They get you on more and more products, and it's just only a matter of time until they continue to monetize. So the money's coming in, that money is going to hit the balance sheet, and if you know anything about investing, okay, if you're a beginner, you're like, well, why do stocks move up and down? They move up and down because of investors and emotions, but long-term stocks go up because they make money. There's no other reason that a stock goes up over time unless it makes money or it's likely to make more money. That's it, right? So that's literally it. If you're a pharmaceutical or company, right, even if you don't make money, but you go from more clinical trials and you get further on, closer to making money, your stock's gonna go up, right? Same thing for like any other company, regular company. If you make more money, that money goes into the balance sheet, to the cash, and the cash grows. It's as simple as that, okay? So SoFi, it's only a matter of time until the stock is going to be $17 per share, $20 per share, $30 per share. And I think that the current market cap of 15 billion is like low. I can see the stock being at 30 billion, which is amazing because that means you're going to double your money. So like it's no joke and it's going to likely occur. It's not really a question of if it's going to happen, it's really a question of when. And the reason why I say like a negative 1.4% or a flat return is good is because all these people that are not trading options are like really frustrated. People that are trading options, for example, like you sell a put option, you sell covered call options, you're selling calls and puts for income. When a stock does nothing, then you're still making money in income. So it's like, great. Basically, think about it like this. Say that you get a house and you rent it out to tenants and you get like $5,000 a month, but the house value doesn't change. Well, what does that mean? Like basically people who are not renting out, yeah, they're pissed. Like, oh, my house not going up. But if you're renting out your house, you're getting $5K a month. You're good, right? You're like, I don't care. The house didn't go up in value. I'm fine. It's all good, right? But someone that's not renting out is gonna be like, oh, my house is not going up in value. Oh, this sucks. But like, if you're renting it out, you have cash flow, right? Options. I just explained it to you in like less than a minute. That's essentially what options are. You rent it out. You rent out your stocks. You sell covered calls and you give up some of your upside, but you collect income. Or you sell puts, which is like a genius strategy where you get to buy a stock for cheaper. It's wild when people like say that options are risky. So again, first link in the description, I teach options for income. And it's the most profitable way to make money and retire and not have to work a job or be a business owner forever. It's the best retirement plan to create and generate safe passive income that's reliable and consistent, hands down. SoFi, what I would be doing is selling $14 puts right currently where it's at, because $14 is a good value, okay? Or $15 covered calls, giving yourself some upside. By the way, over the 6 months, SoFi has not had the best performance, but again, that's completely okay. Because if you sell weekly options or monthly options and you're generating 1% a week, or let's just say 4% a month, then over 6 months, you're up 24%, right? The stock is down 13%, so you would be down a bit on the stock, but you are likely making 24, maybe even 30%. So 30% minus 13 is 17%. So still up good money on SoFi despite the stock being down, and that's made possible via options. So now, the one issue that I am concerned about is the stocks that I'm covering, I'm very confident, and that's why I cover them, and that's why I own them. One reason I am concerned about the market, though, is the stagflation risk, which is essentially the economy faces a scenario where inflation is rising while GDP growth is slowing, and that presents a challenging environment for policymakers, and we will have some risk with interest rates, and inflation going up is typically not a good thing. Because it puts pressure on the consumer, and the whole entire economy is based off of consumers. So that might put pressure on Amazon stock. And overall, I am concerned because if you look at the Middle East, the war escalation, that might also create a lot of volatility in the market. However, I will say that if we get a pullback, I do think it's a good time to invest because we have already seen some really crazy stuff with like a tariff war, okay? It's essentially, we already had a war this year, kind of with China on tariffs. And we saw that, we got that situation handled. So it is clear that the stock market is very resilient, right? Whenever you get a pullback, it is clear that although there is a pullback and, essentially a lot of people lose money, it does recover very fast. And I can show you right now on NVIDIA. And let's go over actually NVIDIA technical analysis. I'm gonna go to the chart right now. You can see with NVIDIA that this was oh my goodness. Had you bought NVIDIA at $94, you honestly wouldn't really care about the news. You wouldn't really care about any YouTube videos. You would literally just be freaking wealthier, a lot wealthier. Your pocket would be overflowing with cash. You would have bicep over tricep money because you went from 94 to 140. That's almost 50% return. You made 50% return had you just basically invested and purchased more NVIDIA when it went down and crashed. So let me tell you what's likely to happen this week. We're going to see volatility for sure, because the escalation in the war is very concerning. If we have a pullback in the stock market, a lot of these stocks that I'm covering are going to pull back because they're not immune to the market. The market is very correlated. So even though I'm covering stocks that are freaking making guacamole on the Chipotle for you, still, when the stock market pulls down, these stocks are also likely to pull down, and that presents a good opportunity actually if you have some cash. So if you have some cash, then that's amazing because then you could put money to work. But you do kind of want to have a little bit of a cash, pile. I wouldn't say that you need more than 5%, but having a little bit of cash at your disposal to buy into the weakness is really smart. And also it's really smart to hedge and use options to generate income. Basically what I'm doing, and let me go briefly over my portfolio here. I'm doing snap covered calls. SoFi, I have the 15 covered call, which is what I told you to do. And when I tell you to do something, I'm actually doing it. So you can see SoFi 15 call, I'm up to $45, okay? I did sell some target puts as well. I think Tesla has actually found some stability. So although I am slightly down here, you can see, I still made money on Tesla. I have some call credit spreads and I have some more call credit spreads here. So I have a couple of interesting positions, which we'll see what happens this week because there's a huge expiration this week. And I trade very heavy on Mondays and Wednesdays during my live coaching call. I have 45-minute sessions and I'm just trading live and I'm showing what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, technical analysis. And we just kind of go over all the stocks that I have. And then everyone follows and everyone kind of makes money. We all make money together. We all profit together. I also do some 0DT trades. So you won't see that on my account right now, but I've been very successful with that. So QQQ, I believe this week will be volatile for sure. Okay, so Monday, essentially, you want to wait until like an hour after the market at like 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So 9:30 a.m. Eastern, like look at the market, but don't make any like crazy decisions in the first hour because I expect the first hour to be very volatile. But I still think QQQ is going to do well this year. And I've been selling daily put options into QQQ. So you can just see 20 hours, 12th, 11th, and every single day I'm making like 300 on the low end to like 1100 on the high end. So probably an average of around, like this is probably the average, around $600 per day I'm making. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more of a complex strategy. It's a little bit more management. It's also more for bigger accounts. So for like if you're in the six figures, I can definitely help you. If you have like a six-figure account, it's not even a question. I will help you make so much more money than you will by yourself. And I'll make it more efficient and lower risk. So it's not even like a question. Because I have strategies that like are a bit more advanced that I'm not going to cover on YouTube. But when I have my one-on-one sessions and when I'm working with clients, especially when they have six figures, like you should see their face. They're like, wait, I can do that? And then after a month of them doing it, they're like, dude, that's free money. I'm like, yeah, dude, it is free money. So yeah, there's some good stuff that you can do with QQQ and actually SPY as well. So just lots of money to be made. But yeah, this week, I think a lot of these stocks, SoFi, Nvidia, Palantir, I think AMD is going to do good. I think these stocks will be resilient compared to the market. And if the market does well, these stocks are going to fly. If we see kind of like a pullback in the market, these stocks will pull back, but I expect them to pull back less given that Palantir will likely go up. Nvidia will likely stay flat. I think Tesla will probably not care too much either. So the stocks that I cover are actually very resilient. So I don't think the escalation in the Middle East is going to affect the stocks that I'm covering too much. But if the market ends up crashing, yeah, you better be in the positions of hedging and and just kind of mixing things up and diversifying. But I'm still bullish for 2025. Still bullish. We have so much innovation. So we're going to do well in 2025, but this week might be a little bit bumpy. But yeah, there's going to be lots of opportunities. So I expect still make my 1% this week. So that's my goal for this week. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe. And again, if you've been thinking about joining, like it's about time. Now is the time. We have lots of opportunity. We have an amazing market, believe it or not, despite escalations and conflicts. And we're going to make a lot of money together. So go ahead. Click the first link in the description. I'm excited to work with you. We've been thinking about working together for a while. Let's make some money this week. Have a good one.